Suni Lee won the all-around debut. Auburn Gymnastics beat Alabama. They struck the Crimson Crane pose as Darian Gobowen put the finishing touches on her floor routine late Friday night. Auburn's gymnastics team celebrated on the mat with their floor queen, mocking the one-legged karate pose made famous last fall by Alabama's football team, as an already raucous crowd at Auburn Arena erupted in triumph. Read more Auburn sports. Suni Lee takes on new balancing act as freshman at Auburn. Auburn locks in Bruce Pearl as basketball coach for life. Top-ranked Auburn basketball in for refreshing challenge against Oklahoma. For just the third time in program history, Auburn bested rival Alabama. This time, the Tigers did it in front of more than 9,000 fans at Auburn Arena and on the back of a stellar all-around performance from Olympic gold medalist Suni Lee. In her collegiate all-around debut, Lee put up a total score of 39.700 to take home the all-around crown and help propel number 8 Auburn to a 197.525 to 197.125 win against number 9 Alabama. I am appreciative that we changed the narrative, but this is the beginning of a really fun season, Auburn coach Jeff Grba said. We're still getting better, and when you do what we did tonight, when you perform at a decent level, not a great level, we started slow and made a lot of mistakes early, but when you perform like that, you win a lot of meat. That's the secret sauce. I am glad Alabama was on the other end of a really good night for us, because I feel like we were on the losing end enough. It's nice to get this behind us. The 197.525 was a season high score for Auburn and the second highest team total in program history, trailing only the 197.750 the team put up against Georgia at home in 2015. It's the second straight meet that Auburn has reset the number 2 score in its record books, having posted a 197.350 last week against Iowa State. Lee led the way for Auburn, finishing the night with not only the all-around crown but also a share of the individual title on beam and bars. The freshman shared the beam title with Alabama's Luisa Blanco, bouncing back after a fall during her routine a week ago against Iowa State, when she settled for a 9.425 on the event. I kind of just had to sit back and just realize that I am not at the place I want to be yet, Lee said. I think I was expecting too much of myself, and I feel like I just had to do everything for everybody, and this time I actually wrote in my journal before the competition and was telling myself to go up there and enjoy it and just be myself. I knew that I am not ready yet and I am not at 100%. And I am not where I want to be yet. This is just the start. We still have the rest of the season, and I just had to realize that. Lee shared the bars lead with Blanco and Gobowen, who each posted a 9.925. Lee also turned in a 9.875 on vault, her first on the apparatus in an Auburn leotard. Lee only began working on her vault only 3 days ago, she said, and it was a routine that Grba said was by no means difficult by her advanced standards. Still, it took the 3-time Olympic medalist some back-and-forth discussions throughout the week to convince Grba to let her debut on vault and compete for the all-around for the first time this season. It was a delicate balance between letting the best all-around gymnast in the world do her thing and trying not to push her too hard too quickly, especially after she took months off following the Olympics and has only had 5 weeks of hard training to get back into a groove. I just decided I wanted to vault because I felt like I had to prove to myself this meet that I could still do it and that I kind of deserve the all-around medal, Lee said. I feel like I've just been in denial, and I think going into this, I just expected so much of myself that I couldn't even enjoy it and I was putting too much pressure on myself. Her vault was good enough for second on the apparatus, behind Alabama's Shalyn Olson, who scored a 9.900. Not bad for a first competitive vault attempt since the Olympics last summer. She's the best athlete in the world, Grab said. Lee then closed her night with a 9.925 on floor, sealing her all-around title and setting the stage for Gobowen's closing act. She just had a different drive this week, Grba said of Lee. She's been trying to catch up from where everybody else had 5 months and she's had less than 5 weeks, and I think it's been hitting her like a ton of bricks. She finally just let it come to her this week. Now, she took control of her training a little bit better. I do think the mistake last week probably fueled some of that, because she doesn't handle mistakes very well sometimes, and that's a good thing. You want people driven by that. She just came in with a fire this week, and I am not sure I could have not put her in the all-around. I might not be talking to you tonight if that was the case. With the win well in hand, Gobowen went out and closed the meet with a 9.950 on her floor routine to take home first in the event and send Auburn Arena into a frenzy. Auburn finished with a season-high 49.550 on floor, as it edged Alabama in 3 of the night's 4 events. I feel like we went out there and did our best, Lee said. This whole week, I feel like the team trained so differently. We were hungry. We went in there and we wanted to beat Bama. We felt like we had something to prove, and I think we did exactly that. We enjoyed every single moment. Tom Green is an Auburn beat reporter for Alabama Media Group. Follow him on Twitter at Tomas_Verde.